Ben George ya da Cici. Romanyalıyım. 26 yaşındayım ve burada kardeşimle Taylan olmaktan çok mutluyum.
Teşekkür ederim. Ben de mutlu oldum geldiğim için.
Rica ederim.
So from this point on, we will continue speaking in English because I think it will be more comfortable for you, even though you're actually good in Turkish, I would say.
Yeah, I can manage.
But yeah, don't force too much. Thanks for the introduction. So after this short introduction, maybe we can tell how we met, because that's an interesting story. It is about 5 years back.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we met in Bucharest, the capital city of Romania. I was doing my internship there at that time in 2016.
Yeah.
Before I went there, I made some posts on the website called Couchsurfing, a platform for travelers, and it works like kind of social media, but it's more like for travelers and adventurers.
Exactly.
You can find accommodation by making some friends, and also just you can use it for hanging out and meeting new people. I became a member of that website and I posted some stuff there because I was also looking for an accommodation and I wanted to see whether I can make some friends. After I posted my request there, Chiti contacted me.
Well, usually I'm this person that is always eager to meet new people, find new friends regardless of their ethnicity and so on. That's why I also contacted Thailand, and I'm actually very happy that I did it. To be honest, I didn't expect to end up in such a friendship and even studying in the same city. I had no such expectations at all. The least you expect, the best it is.
Actually, he was so nice. When I landed in the Bucharest airport, he was there waiting for me. He picked me up, showed me the city, even he came with me to my new place. So I was really grateful for that, and our friendship started there. And also we had many journeys, many adventures in Romania. But that also contributed a lot. I had really nice memories in there, really memorable ones. I think we should tell one of them at least.
Yeah, I agree. We have to mention one. During Thailand's staying in Bucharest, we were thinking about a small journey, a small trip. We had this on-the-spot idea of picking a city from Romania, a random city, and just going there to visit. So, in a very beautiful and very extremely sunny June or July day, we made a very short planning, maybe 1 hour or so, and in the end we decided to go to Constanța, right near the Black Sea. Almost on the spot we went to the train station from Bucharest and we took the train to Constanța. That in Turkish is called Kestanje. After arriving to Constanța, we took the bus to Vama Veche, which is one of the most famous cities in Romania. There is no Romanian citizen not to have been at least once in Vama Veche, either as a young person or as an adult, it doesn't matter. It's a very vibrant city.
Since we didn't do any planning before that, we didn't know that if we can find any accommodation, because we wanted to stay at least 2 days. And there was a festival. I think it was going to take 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And we wanted to stay at least 2 days. So we went there, we couldn't find any accommodation. Everywhere was full. We walked, we looked for more options, and we found a garden full of tents. And I was curious, so we went to that garden. It was kind of a big garden. An old lady came to us and said if we are looking for some accommodation. We said yes please, and she offered us 2 tents. I think it was the last tents she had. So we were so lucky again.
Indeed.
She gave us a spot in the garden. There were many people in her garden.
My first 10th experience, and that is linked actually to my first time in Lama Beke.
So you made your citizenship duty by going to Lama. Actually, the more exciting part is coming now. So after we spent the first night there, like going to the festival and spending some time in there, the next morning, everyone is at home. It's hot, so it's not really convenient to go out. Well, you can go to the beach, but we already did that, so we wanted to do something more exciting.
True. We wanted to feel the real Lama Beke.
Even more. I, of course, came out with a crazy idea. Well, some craziness is good, actually. I don't mind some craziness. I looked up the Google Maps and found out that it's actually so close to the Bulgarian border. I wanted to cross the border and see Bulgaria as well, and I said to Chichi, would you like to join me if I go to Bulgaria on foot? She didn't even think and said, yes, let's do that.
It was on the spot.
That's my man.
Hadi bakalım.
Yeah, we started walking like in 20 minutes. Like in 20 minutes preparation, we just actually took our wallets, nothing more. We actually walked until the border.
Yeah.
We had an incident in there, a weird incident. Yeah, maybe you would tell the story from that moment better.
Yeah.
Because you guys had like a big conversation with that officer.
With the officer from the customs, yeah. Well, to be honest, my knees almost turned into jelly in that moment, because customs officer started to explain to me in a very harsh tone that I'm trying to help Thailand to pass the border illegally. So in other words, the customs officer thought that I was going to carry Thailand illegally, of course, with me in Bulgaria. So that gave me some emotions.
This situation happened because I had a green passport at that time. I knew that green passport is enough for 90 days or less stays. The officer didn't know that. I think he never encountered such people like us. Two people walking to a border out of nowhere, and one of them had like a weird passport and trying to enter another country. And we were not planning to stay there for a long time, for the day, and then at night or evening we would come back. He also came to me and asked some questions. He said, you know that you need some visa to enter this country. I said, yes, but this passport is a bit different, so I should be able to enter without any problem. And I explained everything nicely to him, and he went to his colleague, and I was like a bit concerned. I thought like they would call the police or like, make things even bigger.
I also thought that the things would escalate.
But after he talked to his supervisor or colleague, he came to me with my passport and said that, okay, we can pass. And we were like so relieved. And we kept walking from the border. But after we passed the border, we found a little shop. We needed to eat something. Actually, we wanted to drink something first of all. It was so hot and we forgot to get water bottles with us. The smartest decision we can ever make. And after we had some food and drink, some water from there, we were still spending time in there, resting and planning how can we go, because we still had like a lot of distance to walk. I was hearing some familiar conversation from our next table. It was half Turkish, half Bulgarian. I said to Chichi, I guess these people are from somewhere I know. It seemed like they had a big car. I said I want to try my chance by asking them to drop us to the closest city. Chichi said, yeah, go ahead. I said, excuse me, would you mind taking us to the closer city if you're going to that direction? And he said, oh yeah, of course. They dropped us there and we just walked a little bit more into the city. After that, we saw a park. It was a lively environment compared to other parts of the city. So we just followed the noise and went there.
Exactly.
We saw a bunch of people walking on the ropes.
Not something that you see daily.
It was like a circus, but they were just randomly having fun. They tied the ropes between trunks of the trees. They were walking as if it's a normal thing. We were watching them and one of them approached us and said, would you like to try? Then I said, why not? Because they made it seem like so easy. I failed horribly. Well, it's not my thing, thank you so much. Another guy approached and said, "Where are we from and what are we doing in here?" And we just said, "From here and here, and we are just visiting randomly." Right after I said like from Turkey, he said, "Oh, actually me too, and I'm even circumcised." Said, "Okay."
Why would you say such thing from the very first sentence?
Is this the way you introduce yourself to people? From that part on, we wanted to go to other neighborhoods around. One guy stopped us and said he wouldn't advise us to go there because it might be a bit dangerous because there were some gangs in that part. Okay, let's don't find more adventure. We went to other parts and it was actually a silent city.
The weather was so hot.
Yeah, we were the only crazy people at that time walking around. We spent like a couple of hours more in there and we said time to go back because we didn't want to miss the second part of the festival. So we hit the road again. We walked and walked and walked. We were really tired. I assume we walked more than 30 kilometers.
Yeah, around 30 kilometers.
Yeah. We were like looking for cars but no one was passing. Some people passed but no one wanted to stop. I think I can kind of understand imagining that two people walking on a really isolated place. Yeah, I can understand that they didn't want to stop. But after we walked more, we saw a car just waiting next to the road. A guy was peeing right next to the road. And I think it was just a small break for him. I checked the number plate and it was Romanian number plate and I said, well, they are probably going back to Romania, so let's ask them.
First of all, I kindly greeted him and then I said briefly that we are tired. In the end, the guy actually agreed to give us a ride.
While they were speaking, I didn't understand anything and at some point he started to point out me and said something. I thought like, oh no. But later I understood that he was just concerned about me being able to get in the car because the car was indeed so small. I think it was like two-person car. I thought like, well, it's not a problem. I was gonna say like almost I can use the deck compartment of the car maybe. But luckily he said that let's try and see if it works. I think I folded myself like into 2 or 3 to be able to get in, but I succeeded it.
I remember that you were having the position of a half of a pretzel.
It wasn't a really long journey until border. It took like 15 or 20 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the longest 20 minutes. But I still appreciate that we didn't have to walk all the distance back to there.
Exactly. We survived. I mean, we survived to some other things that this is like nothing. I remember we didn't mention actually that we even asked the police help.
Oh yeah, but police wasn't interested in even talking to us, let alone the help.
But for them, I would say peasant, because I would say for those policemen that they are peasant. If you ever meet.
We succeeded to go back to Beraberinde. We took the Blabla car to go back to Bucharest and it was even better, I think, than train. And you know what? I encountered the same guy in Berlin, the same Blabla car ride. He was still available for Blabla car service. I didn't take it, but my flatmates took the guy and I said, I'm not sure if he would remember me, but say hi from me. And actually he did remember me. The world is so small, I would say. What are the chances to see the same guy in another country giving another BlaBlaCar service? Yeah, that's another side note. Well, this is one of the stories we had. But I would like to ask, what made you interested in learning Turkish?
Very good question, but simple answer though. The main thing that sparked my interest is actually the multitude, the bunch of words that we have in Romanian language that are borrowed from Turkish actually, and we use them on a day-to-day basis. And there are a lot. For example, we also say haydi. We also say even kalabalık. which is one of my favorite words. We even have words denoting some dishes, for instance, çorba, or
I knew that.
or moussaka, which is another favorite dish of mine. There is this major influence in the Romanian culinary, in the Romanian gastronomy. Even some of the Romanian music has quite good influence from the Turkish trills. I love the language, the food, the music even.
So have you visited Turkey before?
Yes, so far only one time, but I'm planning to, of course, visit Turkey again. I was in Ankara, not just in the city, but also in a small village that I enjoyed so much actually. It's called Kızılca Hamam. It's located in a very hilly area. It's surrounded by some small forests. Very nice village, I would say. And I was there with an ERASMUS project. We stayed around 7-9 days. I enjoyed so much. Definitely I'm planning to visit Turkey again. For instance, Istanbul or Antalya. That would be so nice.
Was it in the summer?
Yes, it was in the summer of 2017.
At that time, I was in Berlin. Bad timing.
Yeah, even so, I was happy. I even had the chance to practice my Turkish to show off my skills.
You
And
deserve to show off.
it was so interesting. The reaction of the Turkish people when they hear you saying a few words or idioms or greetings in Turkish, I would say it's delicious. They immediately put a big smile on their face, and it's a total different experience if you say a few words in Turkish. It doesn't matter what those words mean, it gives you such a satisfaction. It's amazing.
I would like to close the video by saying goodbye in Romanian. Papa.
And then I say güle güle.
I think I know one more. Pe curând.
Bravo. And then I say görüşmek üzere. Sıra keyifli.
Dök. Sık bir git gel evladım.